We are on day 5 of our live for the Purpose Driven, and this is also our Q&A session. So good morning. My throat is a little scratchy this morning, so excuse me. But we're going to talk about day 5, and here we're excuse me, uncover our life's purpose, and we're going to serve it to humanity. I am LaKeisha Mallett, and I am a strategic success coach, and I help you create the blueprint, the game plan, the strategy to get to your destination of success in your life, business, and with your finances. I love what I do. I love being able to work with people and help people really uncover what it is that they love to do and make a very profitable income doing that. So that is who I am. Welcome to all of you who are on live. Hello. And welcome to all of you who will be catching by the replay. Hello as well. If you are catching by the replay today or sometime over the weekend, this is Good Friday here in the United States. I guess it would probably be Good Friday a lot of places all over the world. But I know many people have different services and different events and things going on today. So whenever you catch this, welcome. Hello. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're tuned in. I'm glad that you are on this live or you catch it by replay and that you will gain something that will help you live a better life, uncover your purpose, and realize it's meant to be your gift back to the world. So to dive in for day 5, and then we'll go back and do, actually, wait, did we do day 5 yesterday? This is day 6. Oh my goodness. Okay, I need to change our thing. This is day 6. Okay. All right. Okay. I had to go back and do that. But this is day 6. So life is a temporary assignment. I am here on earth for just a little while. Life on earth is a temporary assignment. The Bible is full of metaphors that teach about the brief, temporary, transient nature of life on earth. Life is described as a mist, a fast runner, a breath, a vapor, a wisp of smoke. The Bible says, "For we were born but yesterday, our days are as transient as a shadow." To make the best of your life, you must never forget 2 truths. First, compared with eternity, life is extremely brief. Second, earth is only a temporary residence. You won't be here long, so don't get too attached. So again, part of the reason why I wanted to use this book for our as the segue or as the book that would be used as a catalyst to delve right into our Success by Design Masterclass is we really want to live a purposeful life because we don't have a long time to be here on earth. And even if you live the full length of your days, you live to be 120 years old, which we all want to live um, the full length of our days. But in relation to eternity, that's still a short amount of time. You only have so much time to do the good that you want to do, to invest the way you want to invest, to help those you want to help. You only have a relatively short amount of time to do that. So we have to be making the most of our time here. We have to be living an impactful life while we're here. There's a reason why we've talked a few days ago about the legacy of Jesus Christ. We've talked about the legacy of a Dr. Martin Luther King. We talked about the legacy of a Susan B. Anthony, a Henry Ford. Good morning. We talked about the legacy of those individuals because we are still, first of all, our culture and our civilization was shaped by either the stance they took, the invention or the product they created, but our life to this day is still being impacted by the legacy that they chose to live and to leave. And the same is supposed to be true for us. I say this every live, and I'm going to continue to say it. Generations not yet born should be impacted by the life you are living. And I'm not talking about your immediate sphere, us four no more, just me, my mate, my spouse, my children. No, generations not yet born. That means you have a purpose that is bigger than just you, bigger than your immediate family. It is supposed to serve mankind. The world is supposed to be a better place because you were here. You were birthed to birth something important that the world needs. There's only one you. We talked about this before, and I don't remember the numbers. I should look it up. But out of all of the sperm and egg cell combinations, I mean, it was like 1,000,000,000,000 to 1 chance that you would be you. 1,000,000,000,000 to 1, something so profound, astronomical of a number that you can't think you are here by accident or by happenstance. You can't think that even though your birth may have not been under the most pleasant circumstances by your parents, maybe it wasn't planned even, you still have a greater purpose. The creator, the greater one, knew there was something in you that the world needed, and he only wanted you to fulfill it. That's why there's no two fingerprints are the same. No two voice inflections. There is nothing about you that you will find in someone else. Twins aren't even the same. They don't have the same fingerprints. So when you think about just the uniqueness of who you are, there's a unique gift wrapped inside of you that we need to uncover so that you can serve to mankind. So let's go back to day 6. And for those of you who are just joining, if this is your first live, we are going through The Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren, and this is day 6. We're also going to have a Q&A at the end. Okay. Your identity is in eternity and your homeland is heaven. When you grasp this truth, you will stop worrying about having it all on earth. God is very blunt about the danger of living for the here and now and adopting the values, priorities, and lifestyles of the world around us. You're cheating on God if all you want is your own way, flirting with the world every chance you get. You end up with enemies of God and his way. So, like we talked about yesterday in our live, we talked about how everything that has happened in our life, we view our lives sometimes as a big puzzle. I talked about sometimes people view their life like a deck of cards or a game of cards. So if all the cards were stacked in my favor, then I know I could win, or I could live the life I truly desire to live. But again, no matter how your life has come about, no matter how many situations and circumstances, no matter how many roadblocks you have experienced or faced, no matter if any of that was planned, wasn't planned, was expected, was unexpected, all of those pieces are working together for the good and the development, the character, strengthening, and growth of who you are. So in the grand picture, in the bigger picture, in the bigger puzzle of your life, even those tragedies serve a role. Even those tragedies were meant to shape and conform and help you become who you're supposed to become in order to birth that gift. There is nothing that happens by accident. There are no coincidences, no chance encounters. Everyone you encounter, I teach this to my coaching clients all the time, is both your student and your teacher. So there is something you were supposed to learn from that situation, and there's something from that situation that it was teaching you and that you're going to go and teach someone else. So you are learning from the situation, and then you're going to teach from that same situation. So maybe you were in a relationship that didn't turn out the way you expected. Maybe it was toxic in some way. What did you learn from that relationship, and what can you teach young women, young boys, girls, women, men to do differently? How can you create a blueprint or a roadmap for them to follow, to understand what toxic patterns to be aware of, and how to have the self-esteem and the self-worth and the self-knowledge to know I need to walk away from that. I need to not engage in these relationships with this type of person. I need to have enough esteem in myself to know, when the relationship is not serving me or serving God, and I should walk away. So what are you learning, and then what are you teaching from the same situation? Everything that comes into our space, comes into our sphere, comes into our life is meant to show us a different way. We're supposed to be able to win with the hand we've been dealt. So again, if you've had some situations, some stumbling blocks, some relationships, some financial disasters, some business partnerships that didn't go right, those things were all catalysts to helping you still win with the hand you've been dealt. So in the big picture, I heard Pat Sajak say this, and it's something that I use when I do my live in-person workshops. Is Pat Sajak was interviewed about the success, about the contestants on the Wheel of Fortune, and one of the things that he said, he had this interesting observation. He said that, excuse me, when a player has a lot of money and a lot of blank spaces on the board, instead of buying a vowel, they spin the wheel of fortune at random, just calling letters, hoping to win the game. He said he's seen so many people lose the game because they don't buy a vowel. And that's the same thing with our lives. So many people go to their deathbed not fully embracing and enjoying the reason why they were here, not fully having those vibrant, thriving relationships, not having the health that they want in their body, not being in a place of thriving financially, just only surviving. Why? Because they refuse to buy a vow. They refuse to go after the information that they needed to change the course of their life. They sometimes refuse to learn from the situations that they encountered so that they could live a different life. So everyone is both your student and your teacher. So let me go on to our next thing we're going to talk about. Compared with other centuries, life has never been easier for much of the Western world. We are constantly entertained, amused, and catered to. With all of the fascinating attractions, mesmerizing media, and enjoyable experiences today, it's easy to forget that the pursuit of happiness is not what life is about. Only as we remember that life is a test, a trust, and a temporary assignment will the appeal of those things lose their grip on our lives. I remember when I was younger, everything he said here is so true. I remember when I was younger, I loved to go out and party and hang out, and there were so many things that I just loved to do because it fulfilled maybe my flesh, or fulfilled something that was almost borderline egotistical in me, ego feeding, because I thought life was the party. I thought life was meant to be fun, and life is meant to be fun. But you also can have fun uncovering your gift and walking the steps that you need to walk in order to make sure it's not only fulfilling for you, but fulfilling for others. I didn't understand in my 20s. I didn't fully understand in my 30s that there was a bigger reason for why I was here. Now in my 30s, I started getting the I don't want to say itch, but I started to feel the yearn that there was something more to my life than how I was living. I was in corporate America. I had a good income, by the world standards or by other people's standards. I was living a good life. I should have been satisfied in some degree. Should have been satisfied because I was fairly successful, but I was not satisfied, and I didn't understand why. Given that I had 2 college degrees, I had these certifications, I had a good job in corporate America, I had a decent salary. Why wasn't I fulfilled? What was missing? I didn't understand. But in my 30s, I started really getting the tug and the pull that something was missing. I didn't know what it was. I was doing great financially. I was out of debt. I was traveling the world with my girlfriends. And then when I got married, me and my husband, we were able to do a lot of things that most people are not able to do. And I was doing this in my 30s from a financial perspective. But I didn't understand why at the deep core and essence of who I wasn't fulfilled. And I kept going to like maybe early prayer sessions, and I kept trying to figure out why I couldn't shake this feeling that, I was like, maybe I should get another job. Maybe I'm just stuck here. This is why. Maybe I want to make more money. And, all of those things might have been true to some extent. But the bigger reason why I had that feeling, that tug in my spirit, was because I had a bigger purpose that was supposed to serve humanity. I didn't understand the bigger purpose that was inside the package of meat that was supposed to be uncovered because the world needed it. I'm here as a result of something that the Creator, God, knew that the world needed, and He wanted to use me to give it to the world. Just like you, just like Jesus, just like Martin Luther King, just like Nipsey Hussle. I did a live last week on him, and I think he was a very smart individual. Now, whether you agree with some of the personal things maybe he has done in his life, that would be a different conversation. But as far as living his legacy and leaving a legacy, you cannot disagree that he did just that. You can't say, whether you choose to believe in Christ or not, you can't say that the legacy he lived and the legacy he left did not shape our world and our country for the better. You cannot say that Dr. Martin Luther King, his life and his legacy, has not shaped our culture and our world today. You cannot say that Susan B. Anthony, her life and her legacy, you cannot say it has not shaped the foundational core of our world today. Henry Ford, his life and his legacy, you cannot say has not shaped our culture in our world today. So again, all of those people had very distinctly different gifts and talents. They served them to humanity differently. The same for you and I. My gift is not your gift. Your gift is not your neighbor's gift. Your gift is not the same gift that is in your mate or your coworker, anyone else you know. You have a unique, special purpose that is locked inside of you that has to be uncovered. And that is, again, that's one of the main reasons that Success by Design, the masterclass, was created. It was created as a way to help professionals who are successful but not satisfied. There is something bigger. You were meant for something more. That there was a bigger purpose for why you are here. You want to understand what that is, and you want to figure out how to give that back to the world. One of my mentors, I guess in my head, because I never met him in person, but one of my favorite mentors that I love to listen to is Dr. Miles Monroe. And I love to listen to his sessions and his teachings on leadership and purpose, because they have had a profound impact on my life. They have had a profound impact on the fact that I began to wake up and be attuned to, okay, I am here for something different. I am here for more than just work this job, have a family, teach my kids, raise a family, have this spouse, and then, meet my demise. My life was bigger than that. And life should be more enjoyable than just going through the routine, monotony, the motions of, I get up, I'm stuck in traffic. I go to this job, I don't want to be there. Life is supposed to be more exciting, more fun, more thrilling, more adventurous. And you won't fully, I don't care how successful you are financially, you're not going to fully understand the thrill, the joy, the life-generating, life-giving power or feeling that you get from fully embracing why you're here and going out and doing that thing. You just won't truly understand how good life can really be until you uncover you. Yes, you were in that relationship. Yes, you worked that job. Yes, you were in that business partnership. Yes, you did all of these things that you thought didn't serve you. But who are you? Who are you? Part of the reason sometimes we find ourselves in situations that don't serve us best is because we don't know who we are. We're trying to fit into someone else's standard. We're trying to fit in the mold of what someone else wants us to be, or what we think someone else wants us to be. But the life, the joy, the passion, the zeal for living only comes from fully embracing who you are. I went on a long path of self-discovery of who was LaKeisha Mallett. Who am I? What brings me alive? What causes me to jump out of bed in the morning? What do I enjoy? What was I created to give? What am I here to do? We all have that gift. So back to basics. Okay. Okay, it says it is a fatal mistake to assume God's goal for your life is material prosperity or popular success as the world defines it. Let's talk about as the world defines it. We'll go back. The abundant life has nothing to do with material abundance, and faithfulness to God does not guarantee success in a career or even in ministry. When life gets tough, when you're overwhelmed with doubt, or when you wonder if living for Christ is worth it, remember that you are not home yet. But you will go home. So we will ultimately get to our end destination where we'll spend our eternity. But while we are here, there is eternal purpose for why you are here. And yes, it is nice to have nice things. I like nice things. It is nice to have a nice home or a nice car, or to be able to vacation and do all of those wonderful things. I do believe you should and can do all of those things. But I don't think you still won't even enjoy them to the full extent of how you should enjoy them if you're not living your purpose. They're going to only be fillers in the space of your life. They're only going to be things to hold you over, to fill time, to fill the empty void in space that you have from not truly knowing what is your gifting, what is that treasure in you that you're supposed to spend your time here giving back to the world. And we talked yesterday about altruism, and we talked about greed, we talked about um, poverty, we talked about uh, depriving yourself. We talked about all of those things keep the scales unbalanced, right? We can't give it all away, and we can't, hoard it all either. Our life is supposed to be a mixture of a continual cycle of give and, receive, give, receive, give, receive, give, receive, give, receive. We should not stop the flow of money in our life. We shouldn't stop the flow of how we invest our time, who we invest with, the people that we spend our time with. There's only three things that people want in life. They want to be free from all financial concerns. They want to spend time with other upbeat people. They want to mix well with the people they enjoy to be with. And then they want to be enthused about how they're spending their days. That is not a hard task to fulfill. Yet we know 96 to 98% of the people don't enjoy life that way. Why? Why? If we all want the same things, no one wants to be burdened down by debt. No one wants to mix with people who are miserable, sad. They say misery loves company, but most people don't want to join your pity party. Most people don't enjoy what they do from 9 to 5 or 7 to 7, whatever your time shift is at work. Most people don't enjoy what they do. You can be the doctor, the dentist, the attorney, the whatever. Sometimes we think of certain callings and certain giftings and certain professions that people have as something to be esteemed. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't esteem your doctor, but I don't think you should esteem him over yourself either. Because I've met and I've worked with people in all professions who were not fulfilled, and they've just spent umpteen years in school. So yeah, they're performing a task day in and day out, but given another choice, they wouldn't do it. And why is that? Because most people follow a path that someone else told them would lead them to greater success. Oh, you want to go be a doctor, an attorney, a dentist, or you want to go and be a, whatever, maybe your family, your mom, your dad, your grandparents, your teachers told you will be the road to success for you. But maybe deep inside, you want to be a stay-at-home mom. Maybe deep inside, you love building things. You would prefer to be a contractor. You love to fix things at home, work on homes. But maybe you're an attorney. Maybe you really want to be an artist. You want to be the next, Van Gogh, or you want to be the next. Well, I won't compare you to anyone because you're who you're supposed to be. So I won't even compare you to anyone. But maybe you were meant to, musically, you have a gift that the world needs, but you're a receptionist. And I'm not belittling any profession. So don't look at it as that profession is not good enough. But in the grand scheme of the time you have here, why are you spending it fulfilling a task that is not the ultimate purpose for why you are here, why you were created? So that was what I wanted to share from day 6. So now if anybody has any questions and answers from day 1 through 5, or even today, day 6, I would love to chat with you and answer your questions. I try to keep the lives about 30 minutes. Sometimes they go a little bit over, but I want to hear from you. And hello to everyone who is joining. Hello, my name is LaKeisha Mallett. If you didn't catch it from the live, I am a strategic success coach, and I help you create the blueprint, the game plan, the strategies to get to your destination of success in your life, business, and with your finances. I love what I do. I love that you are here. I'm glad that you are on this live today. And for those who are catching by the replay, I'm glad that you are here too. I'm glad that you took the time out of your schedule, especially in this busy social media world, social media space. There is information overload. You can get information from just about everywhere. But I believe there are certain people that speak directly to your soul. I think there are certain people who their gift resonates with you, and I think you should find those people. They are meant to help you uncover your gift and live a fuller, richer, more abundant life in all areas. That's not just financially, that's with your relationships, with your marriage, with your children, in your health. I think all of those pieces, the pieces again, like we said, of the puzzle, I think all of those pieces of the puzzle are intricate and they fit and they form well together. I can tell you, but I won't tell you. I can tell you the number of people who are successful financially that I know, I have worked with, that I met, that are successful financially, but their relationships with their children are bad. Their marriages are in shambles. Their health is not the best. I can tell you the number of people who I've met and worked with to help them uncover their purpose, that they were successful in their own right, miserable inside. I won't say I was miserable, but I will say I was not satisfied. I was successful, but not satisfied. And so I was a Christian. I was going to church. I was a believer. I didn't understand what was the greater meaning and purpose for why I was here. And it wasn't until I fully embraced that, fully uncovered the path of getting to where I should be, that I began to fully enjoy life, that I began to see my relationships from a different lens, that I could even enjoy my children to the degree and in the way that I enjoy them, because I wasn't stressed out from work and being tied up in traffic and coming home and having to do work and not being able to spend time and eating dinner and going to bed just to start the same cycle all over again. Life is meant to be more than just that. We talked about in the beginning, Jesus enjoyed his time here. So much so that, in the end, he was sweating bullets. Not bullets, but he was sweating blood. Because why? Lord, if it's not my time, let this cup pass from me. Why? He was enjoying his time here. But he was also fulfilling his purpose. The same for us. You can enjoy your time here, but you also should be fulfilling your purpose. Your life has a bigger meaning and purpose than just the monotony of day in, day out, following the same routine and pattern. It is more to life than that. So if you have any questions from that sessions day 1 through 5, good morning. I would love to answer your questions. If not, I want to end with the few things that I always end our lives with. One, what are you going to do today to change the world? This is a question I end my lives with, and I'm going to continue to ask because I want to know, what are you doing to impact the world at large? You were here to serve mankind, to uncover your gift, serve it to humanity, make the world a better place than when you found it. So what are you going to do to change the world? One. Two, if you found anything of value from this live session, I want you to like the video, comment, and share the video with others that you know who want to go on the path to uncovering their life's purpose and live a more profitable life in the process. So like, comment, and share. And then I want you to, so you're liking, you're commenting, your key takeaway, I should say that, your key takeaway, something that you gleaned of value that you're going to use to change your life or make different decisions going forward. Remember, everyone in your life is both your student and your teacher. Nothing has crossed your path that was meant to be to your detriment. It was to ultimately grow the gift that is inside you, develop the character that you need to develop in order for you to be successful as the human being that you were created to be successful to be. So we're going to, one, tell me, what are you going to do to change the world? I want you to like, comment, and share the video. And I want you to remember, this is LaKeisha Mallett, to your success. Well, let me back up. I see a question coming in. So, how do you get yourself motivated every day? That is a very good question. So, I have a little bit of a routine or a ritual that I do in the morning that starts off with my prayer and meditation time. And then I have a set of affirmations, confessions, mantras that I speak over myself in the morning. And yes, are there times when you may be a little weary? Yes, but overall, I think when you fully understand your life's purpose, that gives you a different zeal that for life. That gives you a different sense of meaning. You know your life really has purpose. It gives you a different feeling in the morning. So when you wake up, I don't wake up groggy. I try and teach my kids. Well, I don't have to teach my kids. My kids don't really wake up groggy, so I'll take that back. But when you fully uncover your greater reason for being, then it takes the stress out of your life. It takes the, anxiety out of your life. It takes the anxiety out of your day. It keeps you from needing that. Apologize, my phone is ringing. It keeps you from needing coffee or other stimulants to get you going. You are really on a natural high because I'm impacting the world today. Whose life will I come across? Whose life will be changed as a result of our encounter, our interaction, our meeting? And how will my life be changed? Because again, everyone is both your student and your teacher. You're not only going to give, you're going to receive. There is something that I should be learning from each and every one of you. That's why I want these lives to be interactive. I don't want you to just come here and listen to me talk for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, or whatever the time is. I want it to be interactive because how do you learn? You learn by doing, you learn by sharing, you learn by growing together. So back to your question, how do I motivate myself? I start off with my meditation, my prayer time in the morning. I start off with my mantras that I get my music going that really puts me in a good mood, a good spirit. And then I say my mantras. I do a few jumping jacks, and then I really get my day started. So I don't have too many down days. I won't say they never happen, but I don't have too many down days just because I know that there is so much in me to give. There is so much for me yet to receive. And so when I look at life from that lens, I don't look at life from the lens of what may not be going right, because again, that thing is meant to be my teacher too. So what am I supposed to learn when you are able to stand back objectively and look at every situation and say, okay, what am I to benefit from this situation? Because the scripture says, again, although this is not a religious life, so to speak, I'm going to speak from my knowledge as a Christian, as a believer in Christ, is that the Bible says everything works together for our good. Everything might not be good, but it's still going in the bigger picture of our life plan. It's going to have its purpose. It's going to serve a greater purpose to work for our advantage. There is no creator in the history of any product, service across the world that didn't want their product to be successful. And your creator is no different. So when I look at life from the lens of I was created for something meaningful, something powerful, something impactful, and my creator wants me to be a success, I don't have to be sad and depressed about things that may not be going the way that I think they should. I just take a step back objectively and say, what is happening in this situation? What is best serving me? Is there something I'm supposed to learn from this so I know not to repeat this particular situation again? Is this something I'm supposed to learn because I'm going to show this to someone else in business, someone else in life who needs to know how to navigate the road when they come against this stumbling block? What am I supposed to take from this situation? Now, all situations are good. And at the time you go through them, sometimes you question, but when you step back objectively and say, what's happening here? What am I supposed to be taking? That gives life a different perspective, gives you a different perspective on life as well. Okay, any other questions? How do you get started on financial freedom when the process seems overwhelming? Okay, so this is one area, key area that I love, and one of the things I teach my clients is the wealth strategy. And I'll share the wealth strategy with you because I'll share it, but most people need deep dive to help them really get to where they need to be. So the W is, what do you need to earn in order to live the life you want to live? How much do you need to earn to live the life that you truly want to live? So I'll use this as an example. If you're making $70,000 a year, but you're spending at an $80,000 level, a $90,000 level, then maybe you need to address some things in how much you earn. Maybe you have a gift that you're supposed to use, and that's why the Success by Design Masterclass is so key. Maybe you have a gift that you're supposed to cultivate and develop that helps you fill the void of that gap that you're missing between the $70,000 you're earning and what you need to live the life you truly want to live. Then the E is for expect the unexpected. Unexpected things happen all the time. I've read that studies show that in a 10-year time period, you're going to experience one of a few things. In a 10-year time period, you're going to experience an unexpected health scare, a health concern, a health issue, diagnosis. You're going to experience some type of financial disaster or setback. You're going to experience something that is going to be unexpected, whether the roof starts leaking, the car accident, something. You can prepare for those to the best of your ability. A, active capital. Active capital. I think a portion of your income should be going to create a space for you to actively build your income. Maybe you take that money and you buy a rental property. Maybe you invest in coaching. Maybe you invest in some type of a piece of equipment that you need that's going to help further your business, that is going to help you increase your income. That's active. That's money that you're using. Active means what? To get moving. So that's money that you're going to use to get moving to help you propel you in the right direction. The A is for long-term success. So even if you love what you do, I love what I do. But guess what? At 90, I may not want to do it with the same level of I won't say the same level of energy. I might not want to do it to the same extent that I do it right now. So when I'm 90, I need to have some resources in place that if I'm not out speaking, if I'm not out conducting a workshop, if I'm not teaching a class, that I still have income coming in to supplement my lifestyle, my life and my lifestyle. So the T is for treat yourself. I think this is one of the key areas where most people get really out of balance. Either they do too much treating of themselves or they don't do enough of it. But you should have a category in your spending plan where you treat yourself. I believe that you work hard, you should play hard, but you should enjoy the fruit of your labor. It should not all go to paying bills. It should not all go to everyone and everything else. A portion of all you earn should be for you to enjoy. Then the H is for helping others, whether that is through a tie to your church or helping your favorite nonprofit or a purpose project or something like that. Those things need to be included in a healthy financial plan in order for you to get to where you need to go in life. But the first thing, to go back to the beginning, is really uncovering your money blocks, because we have all grown up and been conditioned. We have these paradigms, these thoughts, these habits that we have been conditioned in us about money. I don't care how much you earn. I've worked with six-figure earners. I've worked with $250,000 earners, $500,000 earners, and they couldn't make ends meet. I've worked with people who made $30,000, $40,000 who couldn't make ends meet. So if the person that earned $250,000 couldn't make ends meet, and the person that made $40,000 can't make ends meet, what's the problem? What's going on in your mind, your thought process around money? So really, you have to work on uncovering what are those hidden blocks that are keeping you from being successful financially. Because again, money is 80% mindset. It's only 20% mechanics. I laid out the mechanics. Those are hard. Once you master the mechanics, those things are not hard to do, but they're not easy to do as well. Just like dieting, I've heard people say for 10, 15 years, I've been trying to get off this weight from my last baby, your baby 14. Okay. Well, why we haven't released those pounds from 14 years ago? Because there is some type of mindset block that is keeping them where they are, and they don't understand it, and they don't uncover it. So they spend 20, 30 years talking about the same 10 pounds they've been trying to release for those last 20, 30 years. So we know, in order to be healthy, in order to get to our optimal weight, we should do what? Eat less and move more. So same thing financially. We should earn more than we spend. But how do you set that up? It's easy to do, but it's also easy not to do. Why? Because we've been conditioned otherwise. So it's important to really uncover what's deeply psychologically what's happening in your mindset about money. Again, financial success, life success, all success really is 80% mindset. The mechanics of it all is only 20%. Maybe you need to work out 2 days a week, or maybe you need to cut back on the carbs, or maybe you need to start eating lean meats instead of fatty meats, or maybe you need to incorporate more plant-based eating in your diet. I mean, there are small little things that we should do, but we've been conditioned to live life the way we've been conditioned to live it. So although those small tweaks are necessary, most people don't do them. So hopefully that answers your question. Let me see if there's anything else. You're welcome. Hello. Okay, so that is all the questions that I see in the live chat. I want to say I wish you all a wonderful weekend. I hope that you enjoy this time of relaxation and rest. Hopefully you get to enjoy some time with those that you love. Again, this is LaKeisha Mallett. To your success.